We're live.
Hello, hello, hello. I think we might actually be live at last. We've got a little bit of a cranky internet thing going on, and it's a little bit slow, but it is November, end of, in the UK. It is chucking it down here on the south coast. I don't know how it's going for you guys, but probably similar. But as the title of our webinar said, we are here to attempt to banish your winter blues and to share a little bit of information about what we've been up to in the online business world. You've probably come here and
dry at the moment. It's
say that. Sorry, Elaine. I think we've got a bit of a delay on the internet a bit this end somehow. But yes, so you'll see there was going to be 4 of us, but unfortunately Lorraine hasn't been able to join us due to some issues that she's had her end. But we will do our best to just explain what we're doing, what we're up to, what the mystical posts that you're seeing are appearing on Facebook. If I could just introduce myself, my name's Rachel Evans. I came into this business a couple of years ago, and I had some big long-term goals and realised that I probably wasn't going to make those happen with the corporate income that I've got at the moment. I'm also an equine podiatrist, so I'm self-employed, and I'm very aware I'm not getting any younger, and I can't be under horses for the remainder of my life and have a decent hope at a pension plan. So this jump into the online business was a complete leap of faith. Had no idea what to expect, and it's basically a plan for my future to where I can't be under horses anymore because my legs won't hold me up, and also for my way of actually being able to try and achieve some freedom in my life. So if I just hand over to the other two very briefly just to introduce themselves and how they came into the business. So Helen, do you want to start there?
Yeah, hello. So yeah, I'm Helen. So I basically hit 50 when it was the middle of the pandemic, and that kind of, I think the hitting 50 makes you start to reflect at your life. So I've been a vet nurse for 25 years now, and similarly to Rachel, my body's not going to hold up into the grand age of 67 until I can retire, scrabbling about with Labradors and doing all the things that you need to do in the work of veterinary nursing. So and I also just thought that, my pension's not going to see me through to a particularly high standard of living when I get there. So I started to look around and looked at a couple of different options for things I could do to try and bring in extra income and make my life a little bit easier as I get older. And came across actually one of Elaine's posts and hovered on the edge of this business for a little while, and then when I really had a deep look, I just thought it's a no-brainer. It's the perfect option to build up in the pockets of your time and create a better future into my retirement.
Hello, my name's Elaine, and I joined this business because, having worked over 35 years in the corporate world, trapped on the 9-to-5 treadmill, I wanted to create more time for me and my family, and particularly spend more time with my horses. I was also conscious that I was going to be completely reliant on the government pension. And like Helen, I did not want to be working till I was 67 to be living on the breadline, really, on the pension, which probably won't be enough to even have my horse's hay bill every month, let alone anything else. So I knew I had to think outside the box. This came up and I took a look at it, and like Helen, I found it was a no-brainer. So I jumped in and had found this fantastic business opportunity.
Fabulous. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to attempt to push the right buttons and share the slides with any luck, so you can see what we're actually talking about here with the business. So just bear with me while I attempt to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Too many buttons, not enough time, hey?
Do you need an old crank wheel to wind it up a bit?
Someone needs to feed the hamster.
I'm used to being on the treadmill. Right, the hamster wheel.
Yeah, it's Sunday night internet. I don't know why it's so slow. It's just
Because everybody else is on it. Get off, everybody else. We want it.
They are. I think they are. It might well be. Is it actually going to share? It's telling me it's sharing, but I don't quite know where it is.
It's buffering at the minute.
Is it still buffering?
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Wow. Do we want to put some hold music on while we're waiting for this to appear?
Some nice lift music. I'll give you a song. Like the Christmas song.
Here
we go.
Is it getting there? Sorry, it's jumped me right into the middle as well.
It has,
One of the things that we will all say as well is that we've had to learn technology from the start, and this is just living proof of actually we are not perfect at technology. Our technology is not perfect with us, and that's just how we roll, basically. So no, we're not polished professionals in any way, shape or form. So if that speaks to you, that should make you realise that this really is a business that anyone can do. Because if we can do it, you can most definitely do it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So anyway, here we are. We're finally at slide 1. We are the UK Freedom Seekers, and this is the freedom business model we're wanting to share with you. Regards how to create a high profit and automate income online. Bear with, because clearly we needed to give it a little bit more sugar, I think. We've introduced ourselves, who we are. I'm Rachel. You've spoken to Helen and Elaine. Sadly, Lorraine can't be with us tonight because of circumstances beyond her control. So we will go straight into what this is all about and why you might want to jump into the online space and look at creating yourself an income. So the formula basically is 3 pillars. So initially you want to try and find an offer that people want to need and love. That's very important. You want to be able to look at monetizing your socials, but not that horrible cold selling to friends and family that none of us want to do, which the good news is we don't. And we want to be able to leverage automated sales and systems because we want to be able to ultimately look for time freedom. So that's really important in terms of having a business that works for you behind the scenes. Okay, so before I get really launched into this, I want you to have a little think. If you're here, you've obviously connected with one of us, seen our posts, wondered what we're up to, and that's what's got you curious. But just have a little bit of a think about why you were here and what does freedom mean to you. Because it might be different for you than it is for me. I know certainly for me, I want to have a little bit more time freedom. I've got a very busy life. And I would like to spend more of that lifetime with my horses, with my friends, going out, traveling if I can. And I do want to work towards having financial freedom, which is freedom of choice, really, not having to think about what do I choose? Can I afford to buy that? Or do I have to budget for a bill instead and not be able to have something? I've had a long time in my life where I've had to scrape around and go without. And I kind of hit a line in the sand moment where I thought, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be able to just go out and have what I want when I want it. And I also want to be able to build a legacy to leave to help other people. And this is a very big thread of what runs through this business as well, is that it's very much about how we can help other people. The reason we're on a webinar on a Sunday night in this awful weather is basically because we want to share what we're doing to try and help you to achieve exactly the same thing. That's what drives all of us. And it's what drives the community in this business too. So what we want to talk about is having an irresistible offer. So basically, we want to be working with a company that provides something that people want, need, and love. And that offer would need to be a win-win for all. It needs to be highly profitable, otherwise known as high ticket, and something that people want to invest in for themselves anyway. It needs to be proven to work and convert, and it needs also to have a long-lasting track record. And the company that we partner with have been around for almost 50 years. So this company's not going away. They've been through a lot of highs and lows. And as per the next point says, it needs to be as far as possible recession-proof. And we all know what's happened in the last few years. We've all lived through it. We've all been locked down. This is exactly the sort of business that you can carry on working from your own home, in your own time, on your phone, anywhere, and you can keep going even when the world stops, like it's done in the last couple of years. So that, for me, was a really important thing when I was looking at getting started with this. It also needs to be something that has a roadmap. As you've seen on the beginning of this webinar, we are definitely not professionals when it comes to operating the systems and what have you. So the good thing is that this business actually comes with a built-in, ready-made, step-by-step guide to how to follow in the footsteps of the mentors that are creating 6- and 7-figure incomes as we speak. And that, for us novices, was extremely important. So that was for me, definitely. And we also need to be looking at something that's in an industry that's thriving and that's solving people's problems. And at the moment, one of the biggest problems that people are facing is with their health. And this is a health industry product. So we want to be looking at how we actually can, sorry, I just jumped 2 slides, how we can actually have an involvement in that health industry to help people with their health. And that's obviously been so important in the last year or so. So why would we want to actually affiliate with a company that's already got a product versus creating your own product? Well, it's a cool thing if you want to be an entrepreneur and create your own product. However, it takes a lot of your time and effort and your money. The investment is usually upwards of multiple 6 figures to create your own product. You need to take the time out to build the product and the systems that work and convert for you. And most businesses, if you're going down that route, will take at least 3 to 5 years to make a profit. And you're often working alone, unless you're able to invest in mentorships and what have you. The good news is in this business is we've already got mentorship set up. There are people that have trodden this path before us, and they're literally just paving the way for us. So we've got access to all those too, which we'll explain a little bit later on. And also, if you're creating your own product, in many businesses, you've then got to wear all the hats. I know that's something I do as a self-employed person, and I'm sure I speak for the other guys as well, in terms of we have to do absolutely everything as opposed to having it all set up for you. So the company we partner with is called Enagic, and Enagic creates medical grade water ionizing machines. So water is a product people want and need, and people buy it daily. So why not share the best water to put into your body to optimize your health? And these machines, as per the picture there on the screen for you, produce electrolyzed reduced water, which is really rich in hydrogen, and it's otherwise known as Kangen water. It's super nourishing. It's known as living water as well because it has its own energy, as opposed to the dead water you might have if you've gone and got bottled water, which could well have been sat on some sunny runway somewhere leaching all the plastics into the water before it gets to you. So it's also an eco-friendly system as well. The machine doesn't just produce drinking water, it produces all sorts of pHs of water that you can use for various things. For example, you can use it to kill bacteria, so you can replace bleach, all that sort of thing. You can treat infections with it. There's 60 plus uses for this water, so not only are you getting the best quality drinking water, but you're also potentially replacing a lot of other products which are potentially toxic in your home and having a much more natural environment. The company, as I mentioned, is 49 years old, heading towards 50. They're Japanese, and they've been around all through the recessions. In fact, as it says there, they had 17% growth in 2020. There's not an awful lot of businesses, I don't think, that could say that. And in fact, the general trend in the lockdown was actually for businesses like this online to increase rather than decline, which a lot of companies obviously struggled with, sadly. So it's also a sustainable, zero waste and non-consumable product as well. And the best thing of all, we can sell online using our social media and having connections through attraction marketing, or with traditional marketing methods, whatever you prefer. So there's plenty of advantages. Sorry, the hamster is still undernourished and very slow. At this point, I'm going to hand over to Helen, who's going to talk to you about what it means to be low profit versus high profit.
Thanks, Rachel. So you may or may not be very familiar with affiliate marketing. I particularly wasn't before I started, but when you think of things like affiliate marketing, you might think of products such as cosmetics, essential oils, dietary supplements, things like that. They're products that choose a relatively low cost to buy and therefore produce low commissions per product sold, typically around 20 to 50 pounds per item. So these businesses require a lot of sales to make any level of living income, and therefore take up a lot of your time and effort to create the kind of lifestyle that you dream of and that is going to keep you sustained. Most people start these as side hustles, but unfortunately they may spend many, many years trying to get ahead in those businesses. A lot of affiliates will earn small amounts of commissions when you click on a link. So you may not even be aware that you've clicked on a link to go and buy a product from a company platform, and that will be linked to an affiliate somewhere that will get a little bit of commission from that. So the difference between that and high ticket is that with high ticket, you affiliate with a product that is high value and therefore has a much higher return on investment. So therefore, the same amount of effort that you're putting in per sale will create a much higher level of commission for that effort. If you think things like Tesla versus Ford Fiesta, or a big gated mansion versus a mid-terrace somewhere. So I'm going to move on to the next slide, which is going to take us through a little bit about the commission structure that Enagic has, which is a patented system. So for each sale that's made, there is 8 points of commission available to be paid out to their distributors. So the amount of commission that you earn depends on which rank you are in the business. So we all start at 1A, and you earn 1 point of commission for each product sold. So there you can see in the first column, at 1A, you make 285. This is in euros. For each K8, which is the water machine that you sell. And as you work up through the business, then you start to get more points of commission for each rank. So by the time you'll get to 6A, then you are getting 6 points of that commission for each sale that you make. So the important thing here is that you never derank with Enagic either. So once you reach a rank, you can take a year off, you can do whatever you want to. You're not going to derank in this business. There's no monthly targets or protocols that you have to reach. So when you get to 6A, which is 101 products, then you've made up all of the sales of all of the sales in your organization. You'll receive 6 points of that commission. Sorry, I've lost myself in the notes a little bit. Right, so there's 2 ways of that we have to help you get through those ranks a little bit more quickly. So we have what we call the trifecta, which you can see here, and the quad. So with the trifecta, you come in with 3 products, and your first purchase you buy yourself, and then the next 2 products that fill up your 1A lane with your first, your second and third products, you get commission on. So you're earning a profit straight away from your own sales. And then that means that the first sale you make outside of your own sales coming in gives you 2 points of that commission structure. So you're already getting ahead in that ranking system. So with the quad, it works similarly to the trifecta. You purchase your first product, you sell yourself 2 extra products, and you earn 1 point of commission on each of those. And then to complete the quad, you purchase a 4th product, which goes into your 2A lane, and that earns you 2 points of your commission on that sale. So most people that come into business on the quad, they will tend to buy 2 of the K8 machines, and that gives you an extra machine to be able to loan out to people, so that people can experience the water and experience all the benefits that Rachel was talking about there, and then decide if that's something they want to buy. So it can be a very useful system to have a spare machine, and people like to experience the water. It's a common theme that we all become water snobs, which definitely. So you can see that if you use these systems by coming in on a trifecta or quad, it can be quite powerful. You can, if you're coming in on a quad, then you are already into the second, into your 2A lane. If you then sell, the next two people come in on a quad, you're onto the 3A lane, and so forth and so forth. So you can pretty much rank up quite quickly. You don't need that many sales to get to the higher ranks. So you can see here, once you reach the higher rank of 6A, which is the one we all aim to get to first, really, through our business, you start to earn bonuses as well. So here you get a $3,000 American bonus just for reaching the rank of 6A. And as I mentioned before, that's 101 sales total in your organization. So your sales and the sales of other people that come in with you. So from there, where do you go? So the lovely thing about this business is it gives you the opportunity to create what they call legacy income. And what they mean by that is that once you go through your 6A and your 6A2, you're getting quarterly bonuses. Once you get to 6A2-3, there in the top of the middle column, not only do you get your $25,000 bonus, but you get $5,000 American bonus monthly for the rest of your life. That's whether you're actively in making sales in the business or not. And once you start making that legacy income, then that is actually willable to your family. So whether that's your partner or your children, or if you don't have children of your own, you can will it to your nieces, nephews. And that really is what a lot of people are striving for, because they know that they can set their families up for a great future, and really ease the tension and the financial tension on people. So I hope it's a very brief run through of a fairly complicated commission structure. But the one thing I would like to say is once you get, so those 8 points that available to you, if somebody comes in underneath you, they can make those points as well. So there's no hierarchy really. Everybody is on their own train here, and we can all be very successful in this business. Affiliate marketing industry is set to grow approximately from 14.3 billion in 2023 globally to 15.7 billion in 2024. So this really is the way to go forward for the future. So I'm going to hand you over to Elaine, and she's going to tell you how we monetize our socials to make sales in the business.
Thank you, Helen. That was well handled, a difficult section there to speak on, but well handled. Okay. So Rachel and Helen both mentioned there about monetizing your socials, but what exactly does that mean and how do we do it? Well, as we all know, everybody virtually is on social media today. Even my 86-year-old mum has Facebook, believe it or not. So there are several platforms that you can choose from. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok even. There are so many different things. Some of us are using one or two of them. Some people are using all of them. And of course, you're watching this webinar now on a social media platform. So instead of just scrolling aimlessly through, watching other people's videos and that sort of thing, we say, why not use that time to make a payroll for yourself? And bearing in mind that the figures show that the majority of us are checking our social media accounts at least 100 times a day. Can you believe that? If you think about what we do, how many times do we check our phones throughout a day? Even if you're sitting in the dentist waiting room, which is where I was the other day, I looked up and everybody had their heads down looking at their phone or whatever. We're doing it all the times. We don't even notice how many times we're looking. So if we're checking our social media platforms that many times, it's a lot of opportunity to get a product or an offer or a service in front of somebody and get their eyes on that offer. So we go about building a brand known as a personal brand. And this is now known to be the #1 future-proofing skill set. And this is how we monetize our socials. So what is your personal brand, I hear you ask? And why is it so important? Well, People no longer resonate with having products or services pushed onto them all the time. Nobody wants to be bombarded with the sleazy salesman or woman that we used to have many years ago. Or indeed, if they ever did want it, I have to say. These days, we need to be able to relate to someone. We want to feel a connection with them, get to know who they really are. And that process is all a part of knowing them, liking them, and trusting them as a person before we are willing to look any further at any product or service that they maybe have of interest for us. And this is what we teach you to do. We help you use attraction marketing so people come to you when they are already interested in the product that you've got on offer or the business opportunity that you've got on offer. There's no more cold calling, no more bugging family and friends like the old days. And you don't have to spend 24 hours a day on social media, which some people think you probably do. You don't either, because we're here trying to get time freedom here as well as an income. So no spending lots of time on your social media. You simply need to share your life and who you are with people as much as you are wanting to do. So they want to see the real you. What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What are your passions? Horses, maybe, like some of us, or pets, family. Allowing your audience to see the person that you actually are is how we go about creating our personal brand and attracting like-minded people to us. By doing business this way, you will always have people around you in your business that you immediately get on with and enjoy their company. And I always say to people coming in, you know, if you're happy to come out with me for a Costa coffee, as Helen will know, I'm sure she's heard me say that, then we'll be fine. And we are. You just get on like a house on fire immediately. Now, we have two ways of doing this business and two strategies that we like to teach. The first option is called organic marketing. And to do business this way, you continue posting on your social media platforms like you all already are doing anyway. And you do this completely free of charge, of course. There's no charge for that. And those posts are showing up in your feed, and they also show up in the feed of the people following you, your audience. So we can teach you how to increase your following so more people are seeing your posts who may be interested in starting their own business with you or indeed purchasing one of the products that you've got. The second option is to make paid content even, as it says on there. There is a small spend behind this, but it is a spend that you are in control of, and you choose how much you want to spend at any time. You can put your limit on how much you are comfortable with, and you create something like a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, something like that. And by doing it this way, it helps you to reach a much larger audience, a worldwide audience potentially, and can be a quicker option for you. Now, neither way is better than the other, and it is entirely your choice which way you choose to go. But for us, generally, we tend to find that using a combination of the two strategies together can be extremely effective. So organic marketing focuses on building your audience over time. Paid marketing uses methods to target, reach, and convert your audience quickly. So it's a much quicker process generally. The main thing to know, though, is that these strategies and techniques are all fully covered by training in our platform. So we teach you everything you need to know. We support you fully from day one, right through the continuation of your business for as long as you wish, and you will have full support from us and our company. So that is about how we monetize socials, and I'll now hand back to Rachel, who is going to give us more details about the wonderful training platform that I've just hinted about. So over to you, Rach.
Lovely, thanks, Elaine. I just want to check you're hearing me okay, because my internet seems to be really on a go slow tonight. I think we've overloaded it, so hopefully I'm still there. I'm pulling an array of freeze faces on my screen, so I'm sure that's entertaining, if nothing else. But yes, thank you, ladies, explaining the nuts and bolts of the system. The last pillar of this system is the automated sales and systems that we have in place. So everything's built for you. It's already there. You don't have to set anything up. If you're going to truly automate a business, you need to have systems, processes, emails, funnels, and everything else, marketing and sales teams in place to support the back end of your business. As Elaine spoke about, you are your personal brand. You are your shop front. But you need systems behind you that when people want to talk to you and understand what it is you're doing, that are all set up and in place to help people get started without you then having to be completely hands-on all the time doing everything. We talked about not having to wear all the hats. This is where all the hats live, and they're all done for you. It's all already set up. It could not be easier. Seriously, I know I've gone back to it before, but you've seen how unslick we are with technology. If we can manage to get people up and running and trained, it's all there step by step for you. It's all doing the heavy lifting behind the scene. It takes the potential customers through a sales qualification process, and it sets everybody up to get going and get started for their own businesses. And that's how you can build a team while you're still sitting on the beach, or in my case on a horse, because I'm unlikely to be sitting on a beach. So let's see if I can. I do apologise for my slow internet. It's doing my head in a little bit. Okay, so having talked about the systems that we've got set up, we have an academy in the group. So the academy is the nuts and bolts of the business, the training. It's everything in one place together. So all the teaching, all the training, the roadmap we spoke about earlier, supporting us to partner with the high profit offer. There's no need to worry about creating anything else yourself. You don't need to necessarily come on and make a hash of a webinar like we're trying to do tonight. You can do that if you want to, but if you don't want to, there's stuff in the business for you that can do it on your behalf, already set up, already speaking to people. Everything's already in place for you. It literally is step by step in terms of following the process, following the footsteps of those people that have made that legacy income that Helen talked about, the people that really don't have to work another day. So let's see if I can get it to go on the next screen. So everything that's inside the academy for you is as it says there. There's a discovery process that helps you talk through what your goals are, what your dreams are, and how this is going to help you reach them. It talks about the high profit offer. It goes back through the numbers again for you, has a look at your legacy wealth for your long-term vision. So if you're someone that's sitting here watching us that's got kids, as Helen said, this is all willable. So your long-term vision might be, I'm going to put this in place for my kids. Some of the top leaders in this community have already set their children up for life. So their children will not actually ever need to work. They'll just be able to live a life by their choice and their design. And no one gets to take that away from them. And that business will continue to build for them as well. So, I mean, how epic is that? There's not too many places that you can say that about. As I've mentioned, the education and the training is in there. We've got additional access to masterclasses, courses, launch your business courses, you name it, it's in there. If it's not, you can ask for it. They'll probably put it in. And you've also got access to the truly global community. Because we're online, we can communicate with anybody in the world. The world is a much smaller place than it used to be. And there are 7 billion people on this planet. We've made barely a drop in this massive ocean online at the moment. So the potential is absolutely huge to continue and connect with so many people. The sky is really your limit with this business. It absolutely is. And the further we all step into that, the more we realise that. So the discovery process that I briefly touched on there is a coaching process to get you clear on what you desire and what you're claiming for your life. It's a due diligence process. It breaks down exactly what the offer is as well. And you get a 45-minute call with a digital business specialist. So these are specially trained salespeople that can answer your questions, help you with your vision, anything that you want to ask them before you get started in this business. They will be there to do that for you. So In addition, we've got access to certain trainers. With the names on screen might not be familiar to you. They weren't to me when I first started, but these people are the forefront of personal development training, and we have access to them in free webinars. Regularly have what they call the momentum masterminds, which is when they will do a whole day training for you. The value inside of this community is absolutely amazing. It really is. And the personal development is second to none from anything I've ever experienced. And hand on heart, I can say that. A big thing that we work through as well is your money mindset, because as I didn't know when I started, I had a terrible relationship with money. I was convinced that there was no more money ever coming my way, so I hung on to it. And that's something you really need to work on, because as an entrepreneur, it can actually really block you from accepting money coming into you. And you need to be ready to receive the level of income that's potential in this community. There are anecdotal stories of people that have suddenly had a lottery win. And how many times have you heard that, or within a year or so, they've actually spent all that money and they've gone bankrupt because they didn't have the mindset to be able to handle that much money in their account. If you don't think it's real, get started in this business and just be aware of what it brings up in you, because when you realize the potential you could have, actually for me was a tiny bit scary, and that's something I've had to work on. But that's what we set up for you to understand and work with, so you're ready to have the income that you desire and that you want. So if any of this has interested you, which we hope it has, as I said, got a truly global community as well, including us, not just in the UK, but all around the world. But what we'd like to do is to offer a first month special to get started, which is $49 US. It's 50% off, and that's to join the training platform that we've been talking about to help you partner with Enagic. So reach out to the person who either invited you here or whose posts you've been following or who you've connected with. Register and get access to the academy. Have a look around, see what's available. The first month is fully refundable. We could not offer you any more on a plate. I was very skeptical when I came in. I came in knowing that I could get a full refund on that money and have a look around. But when I got in through the door and had a look, I could not unsee the potential of what I saw. I really couldn't. And I could not walk away from it, because I know that it's the way forward to create the income that I want, the legacy I want to leave. There's a lot of quotes inside this, one which really stuck with me, which is money in the hands of good people. And that's what you'll find in this community. It really, really is. So after that, you would then book a call with a digital business specialist. You'd complete your discovery process and get really clear on your goals. And then you've got that step-by-step roadmap within the business to help you launch and get started. And the aim now is to have you make your first sales within 30 days of getting started. So with most businesses, as we said, it usually takes 3 to 5 years to get a return on your income. You can do a lot in this business very, very quickly. You can actually get a return on your initial investment within a few months if you put in the work. And it's, as I said, the roadmap is all set up to help you do that. That's what it's designed to do. So those are your next steps. If you're interested, reach out to one of us, whoever it is you resonated with, whoever you've been talking to. We're also happy to be able to support you to get started. We would be happy to offer you a mentorship with us, so we can give you some training calls, support you to get yourself up and running. I know when I started, I had mentorship. I think the other guys did as well. It's absolutely invaluable to learn from people that have gone before you, have made the mistakes, have learned, so you don't have to go down the same rabbit holes. You can have a much clearer path to get towards what you want to achieve. So anyway, I think probably enough said about the business. Hopefully that's given you a bit of insight as to what we're all up to and why we're all doing what we're doing. And we'd love to hear from you. So please reach out, please talk to us, ask questions, get curious. And we want to help as many people have access to this opportunity as we've had as well. So I think that's all we've probably got to say, ladies, unless anyone wants to add any more.
No, that sounds good to me. Just reach out. Come and join us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Come and join the party.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We love it. We love it.
We do. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for your respect and attention and joining us on this miserable old November night. Let's hope we get some sun back again very soon. And we'd love to see as many people as possible on the other side. So as we've said, please feel free to reach out. And we will see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.